Thank you for joining us. In our first story, the flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom, is determined to compete in the upcoming general elections, despite the party's disqualification by the EC. At a news conference on Tuesday, Mr. Indom said he is confident of becoming the next president of Ghana. This is if a 5-minute meeting he is requesting from the EC comes on. The flag bearer, who alleged the EC gave preferential treatment to some of the political parties, said he is prepared to go to court if his persuasion fails. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
The singing and chanting sums up the frustration of these PPP supporters. The party hierarchy was earlier locked up in a meeting at an undisclosed location. Addressing the press after the crunch meeting, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom said the anomaly on his nomination forms was more of an administrative issue, and a 5-minute discussion with the Electoral Commission will resolve the matter. Dr. Indom says the party will seek legal redress if all means to resolve the impasse fails.
So I'm saying to you, with all that is in this document, all that is required is a 5-minute discussion with the returning officer, Mrs. Charlotte Osei. And the situation will be resolved and I will be cleared to contest this December 7, 2016 election as a presidential candidate. And I am confident that once I am on the ballot, I'll become the next president of the country. I am asking the chairperson of the EC and the returning officer to let me know by the end of this week, Thursday this week, when we can meet and deal with this matter positively. Because I believe that it is a simple administrative or clerical matter that can be resolved. And we even know that someone has even been given until tomorrow to deal with the issues that he encountered, and that some other contestant was not able to pay their filing fee the stipulated time and has been cleared to contest the election. My lawyers agree that there is another option, but that option, I, Papa Kwesi Indom, do not want it. However, if we cannot solve this matter simply, administratively, then we will take the legal route and go to court to seek satisfaction so that I can be on the ballot.
Earlier, some supporters trooped to the PPP's head office to protest against the disqualification of their flag bearer, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom.
We are live here at Salam Down, right here at the PPP head office, where some party supporters of the PPP are dissatisfied with what the Electoral Commission came out with yesterday, disqualifying their flag bearer, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom. Here at the party offices in Salam Down, I see an MMT bus, one fully loaded with supporters.
In this world, Ghana, we all need jobs, not road. If you build a road for a good leader, or as a person, which I've been in school before, I've been paying even in school fees. And if you do this thing to me, if you want me to vote for you, you are wrong. I'm going to vote for Papa Kwesi Indom for this election. So if you say you have been banning Papa Kwesi Indom, it means you are lying. If you say you have been getting Papa Kwesi Indom, you are lying. That's what I want to say.
For Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
Now, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission says disqualification of 12 presidential candidates was an action taken based on law. As you're aware, most of the presidential candidates have vowed to go to court on this matter if the EC does not rescind its decision, with some given deadline. Speaking at a media engagement in the northern region, however, Madam Charlotte Osei said the EC is not aware of any intended legal suit, but is prepared if any such thing comes up. It was organized by the Media Foundation for West Africa.
It's in the law. Some have started talking with us, some have had lawyers write to us, but really, it's a matter of people's rights and how they want to enforce it. It's not for us to make that determination. What happens in court depends on how quickly the court disposes of the case. It depends on the kind of case that comes. The candidates that their nominations were rejected because rejected for different grounds. So they all do not have the same kind of, they would not be going to court, I don't presume, in a group. It's going to be individual cases. And depending on how the judges will deal with it, we'll have to take it as it comes and we'll take a decision when we get there. One voter cannot endorse more than one candidate. That is the law. The parliament that we all voted into parliament passed that law. We work with that law. Political parties have access to the register. The candidates want the register, they have access to the register to do their own checks. If someone wants to be president of this country and you take nomination forms that have certain legal requirements following that form, it is up to you and your own responsibility to make sure that what you submit meets the requirements of the law. Nobody appears on the register twice, so it is impossible for anyone to endorse someone twice. In any case, this was time for you guys to understand the reforms and the laws and the processes. If you want to focus the entire time with the commissioners on the disqualification process, I think they're doing yourself a disservice.
We are staying a while longer on election-related issues, and the People's National Convention says it has petitioned the Electoral Commission for a meeting to clarify errors on its nomination forms and hint of initiating a legal process against the Commission should it fail to meet the party. The party says it was wrong the EC failed to give political parties, including the PNC, the opportunity to correct errors on their forms. Party Chairman Bernard Mona says the EC did not avail itself for a response from the party following the errors captured on the PNC nomination forms. He joins us live on the phone lines to have a discussion on this. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we are trying to get in touch with him. We'll rectify that line and get back to him. Let's move on to some other stories. Rather, let's take a break. We'll be back shortly. Yes, here on News Desk on Joy News on Multi TV, and let's continue with that story from the People's National Convention. Their decision, the party's decision to meet the Electoral Commission to discuss why it was disqualified. I'm joined on the line now by the chairman of the party, Bernard Mona. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Beatrice.
Great. So, what do you hope to achieve with this particular meeting with the Electoral Commission?
Well, it is to draw the Electoral Commission's attention to the fact that errors that are identified on our form are remediable, they are correctable, and that in our view, yes, there were errors, but if the Electoral Commission had called us, these errors could have been remedied. And indeed, some of the errors, we were not in, or we are not in a position to determine that indeed they are errors. Because if I come to your studio, Beatrice, and I endorse you, and I move to your adjacent studio and I endorse another person, you will not be a magician or a soothsayer or a witch to sit in where you are sitting to know that I have endorsed the two of you. We do not have the infrastructure to be able to investigate that somebody has endorsed two presidential candidates. So the Electoral Commission sees that all they have to do is to draw our attention and then we'll remedy the situation. We're not given any opportunity to remedy the situation. The law itself requires that we should have, some of these errors should have been referred to us so that we can correct them within a certain period.
Mr. Mona.
The Electoral Commission received our forms and then they did not give us opportunity to do any.
Mr. Mona, as far as we're aware, the EC says that all the presidential candidates were spoken with regarding the errors in their nomination forms.
It is not the case. They only told us at the time they disqualified us. They told us at the time they told us. More important, let me give you an instance. Yesterday after our meeting, and we decided that we should respond to the letter by the Electoral Commission and the reasons they gave us. We responded to them. The presidential candidate himself, Edward Mama, and his running mate decided that they were going to accompany all of us to the Electoral Commission to hand-deliver the letter. We all went there and we hand-delivered the letter to the Electoral Commission. And then they gave us a copy of the nomination form, which we had filled. And we were going to page 24, for instance. Our national organizer who was handling this form were together in the office when he pulled out his ID card and was filling the form. Apparently, he signed some of the form and did not sign one particular page. So if you have a quadruplicate document and you have signed 3 and you have not signed the 4th one, that invalidates every other thing. So the national organizer, who is the Moshumetis, who even goes for iPad and who is available, when I looked at the document, I saw that it was he who did not sign. And I said, that's what, come and see. You didn't sign this document. He said, no, but I said, all of us were in office, but on the form, it is clear that you have not signed. So with such an error, it's something that can easily be corrected. In any case, if you are talking about signatures, the Electoral Commission is a beneficiary of the trivial nature of signatures. When in the 2012 election petition, signatures of presiding officers were not on some of the election declaration results forms, the Supreme Court said that they were not serious issues to cause the annulment.
Now, Mr. Mona, well,
the Electoral Commission, who benefited from something, said today to use that to hit us.
Mr. Mona, so you are talking. Mr. Mona, a second. You are talking about 2012 election. Remember, the 2012 elections were guided by a different legislative instrument. We are talking about CI 94 now, and there are new regulations. In any case, Mr. Mona
is not superior to the court decision.
Exactly. In any case, you have given the Electoral Commission 48 hours to respond to your petition, but the EC says that decision cannot be rescinded. What would you do?
Well, in the letter we wrote, I don't remember the Electoral Commission any ultimatum. You might have decided that we have given them an ultimatum.
What?
We didn't give them any ultimatum.
So
we believe that we should sit with the Electoral Commission to tell them that we have good enough grounds for which our presidential candidate should be the one the people of Ghana should choose as president of Ghana, and therefore he should contest the elections.
Without the deadline, as it were, what are you going to do? Because the EC is saying that that decision cannot be changed.
Oh, we have legal options, and as a law-abiding political party, we have responded to them administratively, and there can be administrative response, which we have done. There can be legal also issues. So we are not closing our door. We are convinced that if we have errors in our form, which we are not running away from, we say that these errors, if we were called, we could have corrected them. And the CI that the Electoral Commission is using also requires that if there is an error, the Electoral Commission should call us and draw attention so that we can correct them.
So, Mr. Mona, are you saying that after today's meeting, if it does not go as you want, you will sue the EC, as others have said?
I hope that they have returned from their northern region trip or escapade to come and attend to that.
Yes, will the party sue or not? Should it go otherwise?
Our lawyers are already on standby, and I think that they have also presented. Indeed, yesterday, we had all manner of people at the party headquarters. We had lawyers from all sides who came to sympathize with us. We had people from civil society organizations who have information, and we just think that it is untenable, the position that the Electoral Commission has taken. So if the Electoral Commission is not ready to deal with us administratively, why not?
So your lawyers are advising you to seek that option?
Call Dr. Raymond Atuba and his team. They are ready.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the PNC, Bernard Mona there. Now, former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has warned of serious consequences if any of the presidential candidates disqualified by the Electoral Commission succeeds in getting an injunction on the upcoming December 7 elections. Some of the disqualified nominees have threatened a court action against the Electoral Commission. And you just heard Bernard Mona there. The former Dom Kwabenya Member of Parliament says he expects the court to fast-track adjudication if a suit on the subject is brought before it.
The Electoral Commission at the trial, the famous trial, spoke of administrative errors on their part, and they expected nothing to be done to them. These are very interesting developments, and all these will be matters that I personally would love to see adjudicated upon.
This litigation has the tendency of dragging the election. Maybe December 7 elections would have to be, pushed forward.
The consequences if we go backwards. After 6th of January, the president at this time will become functus officio. He'll be out of office by a fraction of legal time. He's no more president. The vice president is no more vice president. The parliament itself is dissolved. The speaker is no more. The only person who will be the chief justice. And then, of course, the armed forces, and then the civil service of Ghana. So I only trust that the judges, if there is any litigation, will move expeditiously, which they are capable of doing. So I have no problem.
To some campaign issues now, and President Dramani Mahama has dared the opposition NPP to come clean on how much it cost the country to redenominate the city in 2007. The president, who continued his tour of the Greater Accra region on Tuesday, threw the challenge when he addressed party supporters at a rally at Dakoman here in Accra. Joining us is Joseph Akable has more in the following report.
The NDC presidential candidate started his tour by interacting with traders at the Kaneshie market. President Mahama had a brief meeting with the leadership of the market, after which he addressed traders who had gathered at the market square. President Mahama promised to fix the drainage challenge facing the market if he is re-elected. We have added a drain from Kwale to our project. This will ensure that water flows freely from Kaneshie. From Kaneshie, the president headed to Atiko, where he introduced to the supporters the party's parliamentary candidate for the Kaikwe South constituency, Alexander Ekwaku. The president touted his achievements in infrastructure, arguing that contrary to claims by the opposition that he was wasting resources, jobs were being created.
Infrastructure, it is a way of creating jobs. So the U.S. election President Hillary Clinton.
If you provide infrastructure, it is a way of creating jobs. Even in the U.S., Hillary Clinton is promising to invest $250 billion into infrastructure. This is because it creates jobs. If you don't build schools, where would trained teachers teach?
Training college, almost training as teachers. Say yes, school and see what almost free training college and you know
The president then stopped at Dakoman, where he dared the opposition New Patriotic Party to come clear on how much they spent while in government on the redenomination exercise.
Up till today, no Ghanaian knows the cost of the redenomination exercise. Then the same person and people come and stand and say somebody is incompetent. You are incompetent. Moses, how much did it cost us? Simple thing like this, you can't tell us. And you have the nerve to come and talk about corruption. Look in the mirror and look at yourself.
The president's activities for the day ended at the Fadama Park, where he addressed the mammoth rally. He assured the electorate that he remains committed to solving challenges facing the country.
Zongos and the inner cities, the places where we have poverty, we're going to assist them with all the social protection programs government has.
The president is expected to tour other parts of the region on Wednesday.
Well, the vice presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has offered a derisive response to a request by President John Mahama for the disclosure of the cost of the 2007 redenomination of the city. In a short comment on his Facebook wall, Dr. Bawumia said the request by the president is another demonstration of his cluelessness about the economic issues. And of course, I'll read it verbatim from here. He says, Mr. President, care to read? Today's request for disclosure on the 2007 redenomination is another demonstration of incompetence. Apart from the fact that the then governor disclosed the cost as far back as 2007, If the president really wanted to find out the cost of the redenomination, he could simply have asked his VIP, who was Bank of Ghana governor, especially when the president was head of the economic management team between 2009 and 2012. Such petty propaganda should be beneath someone of the stature of a president. It is clear he is very poorly briefed. But when a president decides to join the bandwagon of propaganda, he only ends up embarrassing himself. Moving on, can the president, with the same zeal, and his economic management team respond to the 170 statements contained in my last lecture? And he attached a link to this particular response, saying that, well, the answer is $66.2 million. So that's how much it cost the country. He just sent that link there on his Facebook page. Now let's continue. Political tempers are high as the general elections draws closer. This morning on the AM show, a discussion on the disaffection meted to President Mahama in Dakoman in the Greater Accra region on his campaign tour yesterday generated some heated debate between the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the NDC and Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogan, Emmanuel Boache Ejaku.
I'll be taking that.
It's wrong.
I am stating that as a matter of fact.
Because I saw them on the main road.
Why
is this wrong that we should be doing that?
Taken down. Yes, we've all been taken down since yesterday. So we can also go back and take down all the NDC plans.
That's what I'm saying. Which is wrong. I'm saying that it is wrong.
So you see, I say that there would always be a fringe element.
He says it's
nobody, but you mentioned it. So tomorrow I want to have a rally in Malaysia. So it stops the NDC from
hoisting them on the electric pole. I will advise my people not to do that. When you've had your rally,
your people seem to be also pulling down.
I'm saying that that's what I'm saying.
You're looking for an ideal situation. You talked about some parameters like that.
For me, it really doesn't matter. Put up your flag.
It matters.
Let them put up their flag. What is important is what you are telling the people. What is important is how the people are feeling. What is important is that the people cannot buy the cake and fish and eat.
They are buying
put up all the flags.
They are buying cake and fish and they are eating all right.
What is important is that when they go to the hospital, the NHIA cards are not working.
This is what we said to Kwame Nkrumah when Kwame Nkrumah developing this country.
Talk about Kwame Nkrumah. NDC is not Kwame Nkrumah. NDC is
Mahama is doing the same.
Talk about Kwame Nkrumah.
Mahama is doing the same thing. Mahama is doing the same thing.
NDC's antecedent is in Rollins.
Oh, Mahama is doing the same thing.
You have forgotten your leader. You have forgotten your founder. Today you are putting back.
Rollins did well. He put this country.
Don't refer to Rollins.
Yeah, we
don't refer. There is a CPP in this country.
We are referring.
All you want is to just steal people's
identity.
All you are doing
we are referring the history of.
Talk about John Mahama. John Mahama has failed to deliver.
He has delivered beyond.
I think it is sacrilegious.
He has to do what we are talking about.
Compare Kwame Nkrumah. It is sacrilegious. Don't compare it.
Ghana. All right.
Okay. You're talking about Ghana. It's not sacrilegious.
Talk about
that is what
years before. What do you do with it? Look at what this country has.
That
is what you told us.
I have two more rounds of questions. So
that is what you do.
I say
every time
talk about John Mahama
has not.
Don't talk about Kwame Nkrumah. That is a CPP party.
The thing that Kwame Nkrumah.
Oh, come on.
Gentlemen, I have two more rounds of questions. So let me just complete my question.
You make too much noise.
It's okay.
You make too much noise.
Okay, it's okay. You will finish right now. You'll be shaking your hands. Now let's look at this.
That's what always talking Ghana. Ghana is on his feet.
Talk about Ghana. Talk about NDC.
Can we have water? Can we have water?
Let me people are tired.
It's okay.
You are tired of you people.
You are tired of people.
I wanted to ask a question.
You have a question.
Indeed, heated arguments there. But I'm sure you want to see that video that generated the debate. Have a look. We're still here on News Desk on Joy News on Multi TVs.